Sony's UK AV receiver offering has had a more focused approach than many of its competitors over the past few years. Concentrating on two key price points, £400 and £500, it's done away with big, complicated lineups in order to focus on the mainstream, and what a triumph it's been. From 5-star reviews to Product of the Year awards, Sony has spent the past few years delivering success after success and has really become a brand to reckon with in this market. Here we have the £400 STR-DN860, the successor to last year's 5-star DN850. Let's see if it can keep up the family reputation. While things may look very familiar on the outside, things on the inside have seen some tweaks in an attempt to improve on last year's performance. For a start, there's an upgraded power supply to minimise noise and a new preamp chip that sees the input level, volume control and preamplifier stages individually grounded to minimise interference and stabilise the amplification process. As for the changes you can see, there are now dual antenna on the back panel, which offers support for both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi simultaneously, while high-resolution music playback is much more inclusive now, compared to the DN850. This means you can now play 24-bit 192kHz WAV files and single-speed DSD files via USB, HDMI and over your home network, while double-speed DSD and 24-bit 192 FLAC files are supported via USB and network only. As with last year, the 860 is a 7.1 channel amp with 5 HDMI ins and 1 HDMI out. This year, the 860 features the HDCP 2.2 codec, meaning it'll upscale all the way up to 4K at 60 frames per second through one HDMI in and the single HDMI out. Legacy connections are covered by 4 sets of inputs for analog audio and 2 for composite video, plus 1 composite out, while digital inputs are made up of 1 coaxial and 2 optical ins. There's a single USB input on the front panel, as well as a headphone output. Getting the amp set up is as easy as ever, with Sony's graphical user interface clear and easy to understand. Once we connect the setup mic, the speaker test tones take no more than a few seconds to sound, and after a quick check of the results, it's ready to go. When it comes to performance, the 860 offers a hugely authoritative sound, with plenty of controlled rumble in the low end, balanced out with a superb level of clarity through the mid-range and treble. This makes for a wonderfully engaging sound that pumps excitement into any action scene, but has a softer touch at hand to take on the quieter scenes too. Voices are direct and full of nuance, cutting through even the busiest of scenes to be heard, but every sound in the scene takes its place without being lost or forgotten in the mix. We even compare it to our 2014 Product of the Year award winner, last year's DN1050, and find that 860 tops it for transparency, with more subtle detail up for grabs. While not quite as spacious in its sound field as the 1050, the 860 is able to stretch its sound impressively wide and passes effects from speaker to speaker with natural agility and precision. Sony has done a good job at taking the bright edge off the treble that we noticed in last year's model, and the 860 sounds more solid than previous efforts as a result. If there's one oversight here, it's that Sony has chosen not to include Atmos in the 860, something many of its competitors will do, even at this price. However, until they arrive into our testing rooms, it's hard to tell if Atmos is a legitimate addition at this level of receiver, and whether Sony has made the right decision to concentrate on the traditional 7.1 channel setup, at least for this year. Musical performance from Sony's AV amps is among the best available, in part because they're tuned in stereo first before they're tuned in surround. It really shows. Rhythmically, the DN860 shows up where a lot of AV receivers fall down, timing well and with precision. We'd certainly recommend putting the amp into pure direct mode for the best sound, delivering a touch more clarity to the mid-range with it on, and if possible, we'd keep this on with movies too. Bluetooth pairs quickly, and even quicker if you have an NFC-compatible device, and allows you to stream music from your tablet or smartphone with Spotify Connect and Miracast on board too. We're big fans of Sony's DN860. Feature-packed and with a great performance to boot, it continues Sony's trends of delivering excellent sounding AV receivers at this price. Only time will tell if Sony's decision to leave Atmos on the shelf was a clever one or not, but for now, this is a superb budget amp that can't fail to entertain. For the full review of Sony's DN860, head over to whathifi.com, and if you've liked this video, do give us a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. If you want to get in contact, you can get us on all of the social media channels. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or add us on Google+.